What's up, everybody? It's your boy Melv here for another classic review, and today I'm reviewing an episode from The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron. Do you remember that series? After he hit break of the movie, it spawned a series from Nickelodeon until I think it was around 2006 or 7 that it marked the end of Jimmy Neutron. Then came the worst one, Planet Sheen. Boo. Yeah, thanks for the booze. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm talking about a specific episode called The Phantom of Retroland. If you remember that episode, oh boy, it looks like death with a salami leg. But before we begin, did you subscribe? Did you hit the bell? If so, what are you waiting for? Are you about to sneak in the park after midnight to find a ghost? If you do, better smell the air. You smell salami? Well, that's knowing you. So yeah, let's go. Sorry. So we recall this was the 8th episode of season 1. It was released on October 30th of 2002. Well, you know, another scary episode for Halloween. I was like in kindergarten or first grade when this came out. So yeah, that was around my demographic. Nice. But yeah, as you recall, the jump forward. We get to see at Retroland Elementary, we get to see Jimmy talk about a famous... what kind of teacher was it this time? The gravity one? Foucault, I think? Let me read. Oh yeah, Foucault's pendulum, which everybody started to get bored. Which, when the first download got knocked over, that's when Sheen says, "What's the next one?" Another hour. Which Miss Fowl tells Jimmy to hurry up. Which she just speds it up and rings the gong and tells Nick it's his turn for his report. So next, Nick asks someone to turn the lights off, and that's when he begins his story. A story about a mysterious figure. He says in July of '97, 3 boys from our town decided to sneak into the old in Retroland after midnight. They jumped over the fence, but they were too smart to believe in the Phantom of Retroland. Everybody knows about the Phantom. He wears a long black cape. He has a salami for a right leg. And he stalks the park after midnight looking for victims to eat. Which, when Nick shows a artist's drawing of what the Phantom looks like, that's when he put the quotes, "The boys were never seen again." Which concludes his book report with Jimmy, as you know. He wants proof, so yeah. He doubts that there's no such thing, and how would anybody know if there were lost words if no one saw them again? Which Sydney replies, "Well, you know how she is. Nobody cares." In the hallway, Jimmy's about what's in his locker. That's when Sydney debunks him because he likes to debunk and everything to ruin everybody's fun. Nick shows up and tells her that no one goes to the theme park has ever seen again, which that's when he made a bet if he goes to the park after midnight and come back to school tomorrow as proof as they survive. To make sure that Jimmy did, he had Carl and Sheen as witnesses, which Carl objects, but Sheen was too busy looking at Jimmy's hair until he realized what was going on. Back at his home, it was like Jimmy's being tucked in for bed, which his dad was talking about making a list of pies in alphabetical order, which his wife corrects him that some of the pies he forgot, like apple, because he started with cherry, but he forgot apple, which starts with an A, and keep going until Jimmy waits for the right moment. He activated some type of hologram to make sure that he's sleeping in bed, but as they leave, when the controls accidentally malfunction, it actually projected him in the park. Carl arrives at his house leaving a note to him that he's leaving for Algeria, joining the French Foreign Union until, Jimmy opens the door and sees him right there reading it. When Carl said, "I thought you said after 7. Well, you would have been flown to Algeria by then, Carl." And we got to find Sheen, who was already at the park, wondered how he got out, sneaked out. He told his grandma that he's going to an abandoned theme park, game by a maniac. She told him to wear clean underwear. Yeah. Wow, some grandma. When they're about to jump the fence, which Carl says he can't jump, so he wants to go back home, but nope. So yeah. But Jimmy had another idea. He pulled out another invention, which called 1,000 Years of Rust, which, it's a spray can. When he sprays at the fence, it made a big hole, like it was been rusted through the years. That's when they walked around the park, call out the Phantom, and say, "Yoo-hoo, Mr. Phantom, tasty children right here. It's 1/4 to midnight, where are you?" And guess what Sheen has? An autograph book, which he wants an autograph of the Phantom next to Santa Claus' dad until they realize there's Sam Hain right. Like, wait a minute. Back at Jimmy's home, while his mom's reading a book, that's when his dad, Hugh, walks in and say, "Hun? Why is this whole playground in this room?" And she complains until they realize, he snacked after midnight. Back at the park, that's when midnight hits, Jimmy proves his point until Carl knows something, which he implies when Jimmy says, "This truck of superstition? No salami." Well, he knows the smell of salami, which is actually the Phantom right behind him. Wow. Which Jimmy follows the trick, and Sheen, as usual, pulling out his autograph book. That's when his dog Goddard, his robotic dog, barks at the Phantom, and the Phantom growls at him, scaring Goddard, and they start running. Everybody started running. I like the music they use for the chase. It's actually pretty cool. And you see the Phantom. No, he's not running. He's actually floating. That's actually pretty cool. Which is actually pretty cool. They made it to a ride. It looks like the pendulum. When they climb in, the Phantom's still coming. Oh boy. Jimmy uses Sheen's autograph book to hit the switch, but as Sheen trying to mock the Phantom, which Carl mentioned, it's only a 5-minute ride, which the Phantom gleefully laughs as he's waiting for his dinner. That's when Carl says, "Get on these type of rides," makes him sick and he throws up. That's when Jimmy tells them to do a little experiment with the project he did during school about the pendulum, that. Which he got her to laser cut the grid, that was holding the grid that's holding the ride. Which he tells, imagine the ride is a giant pendulum, it's swinging freely, and now because the Phantom becomes a domino. It managed to hit the Phantom goes hard on the wall. That's when they hear a recognizable voice say, "Ew, what's that smell? Shoe barf. Sorry." And it turns out to be Nick. All along. When Sheen said, "Yeah, wow, let's get out before the real Phantom shows up." When Jimmy says there's no real Phantom, but no. That's another Phantom. When the Phantom said, "Are you sure?" "What's that smell? You mean his salami leg or Carl's shoes?" Which he growls. They all ran, and Goddard stops the Phantom. It turns out to be Cindy and Libby. It's kind of funny. Wait, it's kind of funny that they're actually stacked on top of each other to make them more taller. which Cindy told them because she doesn't like some smarty pants debunking everything. As they all leave, she mentions that they all know these phantoms a myth, only for Jimmy to ruin their fun. That's when another phantom shows up, which Carl screams. This one's a bit glowing. That's when the phantom said, "Hey, what's that smell? You mean his salami leg, their salami leg, or Carl's shoes?" That's when Jimmy has enough of this prank, and he rips the mask, he rips the cape, and reveals a menacing sight. And they follows the real phantom. They all ran, and Carl mentions, "What about science? Science! Science! Run for your life!" Which turned out to be Jimmy's mom. Teaching him a lesson about using his hologram after bedtime. Which, when they're about to leave, he was still with his alphabetical order on pi. That's when he said he got everything in order. That's when the real Phantom, the actual one, a purple glowing specter, rises from the ground and tells Hugh,
"What about Blackberry?"
"Oh, Blackberry, thank you so much, Mr. Terrifying Face Phantom Guy." That's when they realized, and they ran for their lives, which was actually pretty funny. And that was the Phantom of Retroland. And to me, I think this was my favorite episode because, come on, how was I trying to debunk the unknown and you realize there's actually a real one in the ending? That was a good ending credit right there, but yeah. Let me know what you think of this episode. And if you remember the episode, when it first came out, reruns, My favorite part, this has to be my favorite, it's the ending scene where, my favorite part is the ending where after Judy and Hugh were about to leave, after pulling the prank, that's when the real Phantom shows up mentioning Hugh that he forgot Blackberry Pie. Which he compliments him until he realizes he's the real one. Yeah, I love that part. But yeah, let me know what you think of the Phantom of Retroland, and if you like the episode, give a like to this video. And if you like which scene you liked, which one, including the one that quotes, comment on the video down below and let me know. Until then, I'll see you next time. See ya.